Let's move down the listing to someone who's 99% straight. That is Song Yadong. You know, the only reason I put him on this list is because of his name, Yadong. You know, kind of zesty behavior having your name as Dong. But you know, that is very prominent in that side of the world, having names with Dong in it. So can't fault him on that. So, you know, 99% straight for Song Yadong right there. Let's move up to someone who also is kind of zesty. I'm not going to put him full hella zesty. I'll put him just at the very cusp of being hella zesty, and that's Jailton Almeida. You can't tell me that it's not a little weird to take Derek Lewis down, not do that much like ground and pound. I mean, I guess he did finish him on the ground, but most of that time, if you do remember watching that Derek Lewis fight, most of the time, Jailton Almeida was literally just laying down on him and just staring at him. It was one of the most awkward fights to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on, we're gonna speed through some of these guys. We have Aljamain Sterling. Fighting style, it's kind of zesty. You know what he said, trying to get his title shot to Peter Yan, hella zesty behavior coming from Aljamain. But you know, just that fighting style, constantly shooting, not the most straight behavior. And because of that, we have to put his butt buddy with him, Merab. Definitely becoming more of a fan favorite with all of his skits recently, but just both of their fighting style is very, very zesty. We can't deny this. Moving down the list to someone who's probably with Drew Dober. Honestly, he's just on the cups of being in that zesty tier list. That's Colby Covington. Poliana Viana already exposed him for, you know, liking certain fingers in certain holes, you know, so we're just gonna put him in that. Very, very experimental from Colby. I don't see him going full like Conor McGregor level, but you know, a little experimental here and there. Moving up the list, I don't know where I should put Yair Rodriguez. I'm not gonna lie, you know, most of the time I would put him at maybe like 99% on the cups of being experimental, but you know, I just can't look at him the same ever again since that interview with Michael Bisping when he was throwing his temper tantrum because he eye poked Jeremy Stevens. You know, I can't look at him in the same way, so that was kind of hella zesty behavior, I'm not gonna lie. Because of that, I can't justify it putting him any lower than just zesty, because that was the textbook definition of zesty behavior coming from an MMA fighter. Okay, let's move on. Let's add some more people in that hella zesty tier list. We have Ryan Hall. You know, same thing applies that with Aljo and Merab, but fully encompasses Ryan Hall. This man does not strike at all. His preferred game plan is to nut hug, take a hold of your leg, just pretty much wrestle around with sweaty half-naked men, and because of that, that's just hella zesty behavior. You cannot respect that kind of game plan going into any fight.